Morning, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to Newcastle Fans TV. I'm going to get this off my chest. I am fucking sick of hearing about Alexander Isak now. It's getting to the point now I'm getting every day, every single day I see it. I cannot get away from it. I never can use it. And now this morning, I didn't plan to do a video until later on. I was hoping to do a video later when Malik Chow was going to be announced. But obviously, it's everywhere this morning that Alexander Isak, for you who haven't seen it, is refusing to be basically introduced back into the squad. So Eddie Howe was asked about this at the press conference. He didn't want to go in, I think it was Friday night, and he's basically said that he's not going to go into it, and that Alexander Isak will stay away from the club. Obviously, he's coming in later on in training, about 3 to 4 p.m, when the rest of the squad have already gone home, and he's obviously just going through more or less fitness drills. But I am getting really, really fed up about this. I'm getting really, really fed up about hearing about it. I'm going to say something that might be controversial. Yeah, he's acting worse than Michael Owen did. I'm going to say that right now. Michael Owen didn't refuse to train with the first team. Michael Owen refused to play in the last game of the season, where we needed that result against Aston Villa way back when Shearer was in temporary charge. This goes further. This is going further than that. He's refusing to actually just train with his teammates. And this is must stress, according to The Athletic. Now, Eddie Howe has said that sometimes the reporting is spot on, but sometimes it's also off the mark as well. So I'm just getting fucking sick of hearing about it now. Get the cunt gone for me. Get him out the building. Get him gone. It needs resolve. Said this a couple of days again. Get Alexander Isak out this club. Get the money in. It's getting the point now where he's becoming desperate because he's forced to move. The window's starting to shut down. We've got 2.5 weeks left of the transfer window. If he doesn't want to play for us, get him out. Can we get the money? It's getting to the point where Newcastle need to dig the heels deep, because we're in the situation where we have Isak on 3-year contract. It's not like Isak's dictating it. As far as I'm concerned, if we cannot sell him, hopefully we can, because you didn't want a bad egg as much as you, and he's also got to remember where he's came from, because when he came to Sociedad, he was still seen as this high promising potential player. Eddie Howe and his coaching staff, as well as Isak, have now made him into one of the best strikers in the Premier League, if not Europe, if not the world. He's also got to remember where he's came from, because without Eddie Howe and his coaching team, Isak wouldn't be the player that he is today. And he's throwing his toys out his pram, the way he's going on. And you've got plastic armchair fans shouting, "Oh, give us Isak," and so on. Do you really want someone like that in your club? Because fuck me, I don't anymore. I don't. I mean, when the first news come out when I was going out abroad, I was like, maybe we can convince him, give us another year. And then a few days later, I was like, nah, get him gone. Get him gone. Now I'm like, fuck me, get the twat out. Get him out, man. Didn't want somebody like that at the club. I don't care who the player is. This badge is bigger than the player. The player is now toward the badge. Newcastle United will live on after that player. You can talk about all the greats doing the years. Even the great man Alan Shearer says that the badge is bigger than him. That will always be the case. Newcastle United comes first, not this bastard who wants to throw his toys at his pram. I'm fucking sick of it, man. I am absolutely sick and tired of hearing about Isak throwing his toys at his pram. He's won League Cup. He's got with Champions League. Now, I've also seen some rumours, again, these are rumours, that Callum Wilson kicked a fuss about it last season because Isak was playing down tools. And that it's a bad thing that Newcastle qualified for the Champions League because Isak was ready to put in that move if we didn't. Obviously, Newcastle then qualified for the Champions League. Again, these are just rumours. Didn't take that with gospel. What are you lot saying? In the comments. Hello everyone. Good morning to you. I'm sorry I'm on one this morning. It's that time he did one. The club stopped paying him, banished him from the club, says Dean. We're all sick of hearing about Isak, but the money must be right or we keep him away from the players. And David's gone to say Isak himself needs to speak simple as he's staying out for No1. Dude goes on to say, I honestly thought he was really that interested recently. He hardly celebrated when someone else scored in the team. His attitude always seemed off to me. Craig has gone to say all this speculation is all being led by his agent. No, we'll sack the bastard. If Isak's getting convinced and played by his agent, we need to take a look at his agent, because his agent doesn't have many big clients. If you look at his list, you can find that out in transfermarket.co.uk if you want to have a look at his portfolio. Isak's his biggest player. Newcastle fan Lewis basically is absolutely wrecked his career for any team playing now, because they think he's good enough to do the thing. He's just there for money now, and he wants to play for another team. Isak needs to go, says Simon. But this week's focus needs to be bringing in a striker, and that's our priority. And we don't have a focal point. Let's give out all our energy to that. Simi's gone out to say a poisonous attitude. He won't go down as a club legend. I totally agree. I'm so surprised he could act unprofessionally. I hope we stand steadfast. Bollocks, Liverpool, fuck him off abroad. 110 million for Harvey Elliott, that would be ideal. I want more than that. Joel goes on to say, the way he disrespected a club legend, our club beyond is a joke. Sorry, should be. Well, he hasn't been fined, has he? That's what Eddie Howe said. I wonder if that's changed. DJ Selector for Isak. Yeah, man. Go and watch your team in Anfield. Stop being a plastic, man. Can he head away? Can he head away in the shape for me, pretty boy? And St James's Park, Dave, until the club meets our valuation, what he wants is irrelevant. I agree on that, but it's getting to the point now is how much is a negativity is he putting out? Because even Eddie Howe said that the squad are affected by his absence and what he's up to. So watch Liverpool trying off 115 million now. Put him in the reserves for the rest of the contract. Make statements. And Michael's got to say, I've had enough, timed up. I agree with these rumours. You've just spoke about final 6 games of the season were terrible and a disgrace. A Red's got to say the guy doesn't want to compete for major trophies. Yes, he does want to compete, but it's the way you do it. You didn't go on and refuse. If you go to work, Red one in the comments, you go to work. Are you refusing to go to work? Are you, I don't know, not work, because he is technically working, inverted commas. If your manager asks you to do something, would you refuse that all the time? Are you in that right position to do that? Because you can't do that, can you? If your manager's asking you to do something, you would then do that because he's the boss. He's running it for the better of the company. Yada yada yada. You just wouldn't, would you? Conor going to say no players bigger than the club. Get them gone. One players who want to be here. Yeah, it's the way you do it. Look, we know that he wants the move. We get it. He wants to go to a bigger club. Liverpool are a bigger club, and I'm fucking sick of hearing from plastic fans in particular. Newcastle think we're a big club. Nobody is saying that. Who the fuck is saying that on social media? We're not. It's because you support that plastic club. You support that bigger club. So my dick's bigger than your dick. We support a local team. We'll follow a team home and away. I didn't give a shit if Liverpool are bigger than us. They are bigger than us. Stop banging on about it. Man United are bigger than Newcastle United. Yeah, we get it. You don't need to ram it down the throat every fucking 5 seconds. We don't go around, we think we're a big club now. We've won the league. You'll never, ever, ever hear that from our channel. Ever. Anybody who says that needs the heat tested. We're not a bigger club than those two. Of course not. Of course we aren't. But stop ramming it down the throats, man. You can tell you're a 14-year-old hiding in the bedroom, man. Give it up, man. It's boring. My dick's bigger than your dick, man. It's give our bit up, man. I need to fucking de-stress. I think what we'll do is we'll have a look at the share screen facility, because I'm sick of hearing about. I am. It's fucking got us this morning, like, and it hasn't. Do you know what it is? When I went abroad to Singapore and South Korea, I absolutely loved it. I was close. I felt close at the first team. I was close at the Newcastle United staff for the events and all that. I met loads of fans, and everyone back home was stressing out. And then I just went on that rant one night. I think that toppled me over there. And this is like hitting me again. Like, and I didn't like ranting because it comes across as fake if you keep digging it. But it's getting the point now where it's like, I am sick of hearing about it. It's such a negativity amongst the club at the minute. That's the biggest negativity for me. We want a striker in, we do. We want the board to invest and get the players over the line, we do. But for me, this is the number one negativity. This is number one for me, and it outshines the rest, because if that negativity wasn't there, we've got the striker already, yeah? So, you've got to remember that he's got 3 years left on his contract. He's not the one with the power. It's 3 long years. Now, what Newcastle could do if we can't sell him is possibly that. Do you know what? Because by the time the window closes, he has to make that decision for his own career. Because does he want to rot in the under-21s for a few months until January? Because realistically, a player of that skill. Let's be honest, he's a world class striker. Doesn't want to be sitting in the under-21s for 6 months, because if he doesn't get his move, it comes desperate from him. Because then there's only a couple of leagues open after August, which I think might be Turkey and I want to say Saudi for a week or two. Could head out on loan there. Right. I'm going to have a look at some tweets. So the Athletic are the ones who brought this 2 hours ago. Brought the news out. Isak adamant he'll never represent Newcastle United again. He has no desire to reintegrate into the squad. Newcastle say he's not for sale. Isak forced on a move to Liverpool. And Alexander Isak is David Ornstein's one to watch in this week's transfer window. And then Ornstein's quoted in the Athletic, even if they refuse to sell and the striker remains when the transfer window closes, Alexander Isak regards his career at Newcastle as finished and has no desire to reintegrate into the squad. Get him out, man. Get the cunt out. Get the twat out. Don't want someone like that at our club. We didn't want someone like that. I don't care. He's world class. We're better. We're bigger. And it's the badge, not the player, that's more important. Luke Edwards has gone on to say, Alexander Isak made his intentions clear days ago. Why do you think he's not training with a group or playing? He has also not said a thing publicly about his intentions, and that is not handed and he's not handed an official transfer request. Why hasn't he done that? Club continue to insist he's not for sale. More to follow, no doubt. Craig Hopes then got on in it. Alexander Isak for sale? No. Will he be sold? Let's see. Different questions, different answers. Isak isn't refusing to play because he's not for sale. He, his camp, and Liverpool can say Newcastle United have tried to sign a replacement. He's refusing to participate to make sure they don't stop. I mean, again, never mind refusing to play. He's refusing just to train with his own teammates. That's disgraceful. Absolute fucking disgraceful. Ornstein then got on to say Isak's adamant he will not play for Newcastle again. Even if this window closes with the exit, the 25-year-old views Newcastle's career over and no wish to reintegrate. Club say he's not for sale, but exploring market amid Newcastle interest in striker wants Liverpool. Charlie's gone on to say, committed to it weeks ago, and I'll say it again, Alexander Isak has acted disgracefully. Eyebrows were raised when he penned that 6-year, 120k a week contract for 63 million. He'll do well, remember that. Exactly. He's getting paid handsomely to sit around, refuse. He just gets to jog around the pitch fucking 5-10 times a day. Don Hutchison, former Premier League player, current ESPN pundit's gone out and say it's not all about the money. Put in a written transfer request. Doing that means to give up all the money owed, moved on. The reason why they haven't is that they want the money from Newcastle and the move and the money from Liverpool. And then he's quoted himself, says, if I was Alexander Isak, I would sack my agent on the spot a day. Footballers, even though they have a say and an opinion, generally take the advice from the agent. The agent has handled this saga incredibly bad. Yeah, sack his agent. Lindsay Hipgrave, TNT presenter, Dunstan lass, has gone out to say, I'm not disappointed, I'm just angry. And that's one of the presenters saying that. Crystal Palace fan, HLTCO, who was on the overlap with Joe, well respected amongst the Palace community, says he signed a 6-year contract with no release clause in 2022 for a club record £63 million fee. He waited until Liverpool had signed Hugo Ekitike to throw his toys out his pram and demand a move. You understand wanting to move, but refusing to ever play again is shocking. And I just want to play this clip as well.
Alexander Isak is adamant he will not play for Newcastle again, even if window closes without exit. Tyneside career is over. No wish to reintegrate. Clubs say not for sale. Wow. I mean, wow. Who does he think he is, by the way?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
Listen, I can't banter with Newcastle, but like, who do you think you are, mate?
Correct, mate.
I mean, even Gabby Agbonlahor is sticking up for Newcastle, and he winds us up on TalkSport something rotten. But even he can see the shithousery that Isak's doing. It's yeah, man. I mean, when Gabby Agbonlahor is sticking up for Newcastle, you know that something is wrong. Christ almighty, man. Dom Skur from the Shields goes on to say, Shields Gazette, so Alexander Isak would rather rot in the reserves than play Champions League football in his prime in a World Cup year with Newcastle, just to try and force a move through with Liverpool. I know he's keen, but it's getting desperate now. The Magpie Group, Isak's agent is a disgrace. He's desperate for his big payday. And then even True Geordie this morning. Panic is now set in. He's backed himself into a corner, and Liverpool haven't stumped up the cash. He's bricking it at the thought of having to face the music at St James's. It's time to man up, you coward. You've got 3 years left. You'll do as you're fucking told. And that's the point that Newcastle have, is that we've got that time scale of that we have the power because it's 3 years. It's not like he's got 1 year left on his deal. It's not even like he's got 2 years left. So, I mean, what can Newcastle do? Liverpool didn't come up with the cash. Is probably, could you loan him out for a year and maybe get a big loan fee? That could be an option, because there's no doubt about it. The suitors who will be out there might not be able to afford them straight away, but they could next summer. So I'm going to throw a couple of clubs at you. Harry Kane's getting on a little bit. So is Lewandowski. You know, I'm not saying and I mean, this is the worst case scenario, is that if we kind of sell Isak, do we loan him out for a year and get a big, massive loan fee and then see what happens next summer? Because you're not losing any money, you're still gaining a big loan fee. You're talking well over, what, a season? Probably 20 odd million for a loan for one season, maybe more. I might be making that number low. But this morning, man, do you know what it is? It's such a fucking negativity about it. It is. It's really fucking negative. Going into this weekend against Aston Villa, we haven't got a quality recognised striker. Because the only striker at the club is Will Asula, who's only scored 1 Premier League goal. Now, that is really worrying. So, no doubt about it, Anthony Gordon will play up top this weekend with Harvey Barnes on the left, and you can pick either Murphy or Langer on the right-hand side. That'll be your front three, guaranteed. Now, obviously, it's gone very quiet on Johan Vissa. We need some movement. We need some updates on that, because if Vissa signs this week, he goes straight into that starting lineup. Now, I'm not saying Vissa is anywhere near the quality of Alexander Isak. Vissa will be a Callum Wilson replacement, but he's a striker who can, you know, he's banged 1 and 2 last season, more than 1 and 2 for Brentford. It's a stop gap, and we need that to happen. Hopefully, Brentford get their man for the door from Bournemouth to speed that up. Obviously, the positive news is that Malik Chow looks like that'll be a done deal. So hopefully the club, it'll be nice if the club can announce that today if they can, because you'll be doing all the photos and the interviews and what have you today, just to lift Will a little bit, because this news this morning has really pissed everybody off. It really has. So if we can announce that, it's like, it doesn't say it lifts Will a little bit, it softens the blow a little bit, that it's positive news, because we need some positive news in the club at the minute. We do. Let's have a look. Sorry, I've gone on a bit of a tangent. Let's have a look at what you lot are saying in the comments as well. Loan fee of 90 million, says Lewis. I don't think that's going to happen, mate. PS on, all that means we aren't in a position to keep him and can't let him rot. We have to sell him now. Our season is completely screwed if we don't. BT says, yes, good option to loan him out of Europe only. Did Isak say this, or Liverpool's mate to the media? Well, it's Ornstein, the Athletic, that have said that. It's obvious to all Liverpool have played a massive part in this. Why aren't they being investigated? Anthony Gordon plays up front. That South Korea ringer will be playing on the wing. And I don't think Park Sing-soo's ready to start games. I think he's still a bit raw. Even Eddie Howe said that. Will not be him. Hit some likes if you can. Get up to 300 likes for the video. Yeah, if you like this little bit of mini rant, drop us a like on the video, please. That'll help us massively. Legal approach coming soon. PF will not suffer fools gladly. And Park Sing-soo will be in the squad this weekend in preseason. And he's shocker man. We could loan him out a foreign team. Anthony Gordon up front in for me. But we haven't really got any options then, Simi. So who are you playing up top this weekend? Newcastle, a bit like the Saudis, holding people against their will. Who are you going to play up top this weekend then? Because we're fucked. You're playing Will Asula up top against Aston Villa, who you would think come the end of the season will be a rival of ours, competing in that top 7 clubs. Champions League places potentially as well. Come down the wire last season, so I really didn't want Will Asula up top. I don't want Anthony Gordon up top either. I think Gordon's better on the left, but push comes to shove, I'm picking Gordon over Asula up top. I am. A couple of other news the last 24 hours. Monaco have obviously interested in Kieran Trippier. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. They might come in for it, but we talked about that yesterday. Samu Algahawa is well thought of at Porto. There's been nothing on that either. It's just this news this morning. Just, I don't want to go on and on and on about it because it's just an absolute crap, and Isak's refusing, and he surely has to be fined. If this is real, and you know it comes from Ornstein, he gets most of the stuff right from the Athletic. if this is real, surely, because if he hasn't had in the transfer request, then yes, he might not. Don Hutchinson was saying there, he might give up some of his privileges in his contract. Maybe that's why. But can you fine him for refusing? Because technically he's still coming into work. He's just not asking all what his boss is asking to do. It's like me or you going into work, and I don't know, say if you worked at Tesco or an Asda, not that there's anything wrong working there, but your boss, you like working on aisle 3, but your boss says, we need you on the checkout today. It's like you saying, no, I'm not going to do that. No, because I don't want to. I want to move to aisle 4 instead. It's a bit like that, and it's, well, I'm trying to compare it. I'm not getting on the checkouts now. What can your manager actually do? Because you're disobeying a command from your boss, but you're still technically working. I don't know. It's a difficult one, me. If you can find the cunt, find him for me. I think it's just not on the way he's conducting himself. And we're going to hear more from it. I'm sorry, but I think there's more pain to come. I really do. I think we're not heard the end of it. It's just, and even Eddie Howe was saying that the squad was affected by it, by his absence. Obviously, he was out in Austria, and then something from there has then triggered, because we went to Celtic, and it was disguised that they sent him home because it was a thigh injury. We knew something was up because Joe Linton was there. Joe Linton didn't feature. So we knew something was up at that point, because why would you send someone, because they flew in from Austria straight to Glasgow, straight to the game. Joe Linton was still there with the squad, but they sent Isak home. But Joe Linton couldn't play because he was injured. And then obviously refusing to go abroad, and the thigh injury wasn't a real injury, because even Eddie Howe said a couple of days ago that he's fully fit. Well, I say fully fit. He's not match fit, but he's fully fit in terms of no injuries and stuff. But even if we flip it and look, I want him gone, I really do. But even if we flip and say, let's just say he does come back in once the window closes, how quick is he going to be match fit as well? Because he's not going to be able to start in full 90 minutes. So you might have to play an under 21 game or two to get up to speed and try and catch up. Or you may have to be brought off the bench a few times when the international break as well, because he'll want to play for Sweden, won't he? Sure, that's in September. I mean, what does Anthony Elanga make of all this? Because he's moved to Newcastle. Must be thinking, great, I'm going to play with Alexander Isak. I know him really well. I get on well with a lot of the squad, like Botman. He knows Tino Livramento. Willis Sulai is really close with Joe Willock. I mean, what does Elanga make of all this? Absolute mental, man. Absolute crackers at the minute, the way everything is. Let's have a look what you a lot of saying. It'll be interesting to see what the likes of Bruno, Joe Linton, Byrne, Trippier, the leadership group say once the window's finished. Obviously, they can't see anything at the moment, but they might want to. Regent's gone on to say, as soon as the transfer window closes, he will beg to play because Sweden are going for qualification in the World Cup, which is next summer. Extreme gamble, taking a player not match fit. He won't sit on his backside for 12 months. He'll want to be back in. I agree, Dylan. I think it comes to, if the window closes, do you bring him back in, or do you try and get him out on loan to a Saudi club or a Turkey club for a few months? I don't know. Isak has been terrible, loan him out to the Saudis. He's a good player. I don't like the attitude. Good Liverpool fan, finally agreeing with me. Kind of, I know you want Isak, but the player in question, you didn't want someone like that, because if Real Madrid come in for Isak, if Isak against Liverpool, you didn't want that in 2 years' time, because it's just going to be the same, isn't he? I can't imagine what the reaction will be in the crowd if he does start a play. I think he'll get booed. I think he will. I think it'll be half and half, actually. I think some of them will get behind him and some of them won't. Just pay him half the wages, then prove a point, don't do this again. I don't know if you're legally allowed to do that, though. That's the problem. Times reporting Isak has moved out his house. Was that today? Because I haven't seen the latest news. I know that was a carry on. His house was up for sale whilst I was abroad, then it was taken off. So maybe that's gamesmanship again. The crowd will hammer him if he plays again. Get him to Barca on loan with buy next season on it. And for those interested in this being public, if Isak refuses to play, he won't want fans knowing. Newcastle could leak to Ornstein to turn fans against him and smooth the sale. That analogy is shit. It's like he works for Tesco, but he says he will go to staff training. I tried to compare it. I didn't know I was doing the right terminology of it. Matt's going to say transfer to Saudi full price, yes. I don't think he wants Saudi, that's a problem. So if the window closes, I don't know if the Saudi League's open afterwards now. They might have brought it in line, but it become desperate where if he doesn't want to beat Newcastle, he needs to force a loan move out, potentially right in the death. But we need to replace him. That's the problem that we've also got as well. And Barca, I don't think Barca can afford him at the minute. So that if he went to Boss, I think it'll have to be installments. So Isak and the PFA. The moment all players play for Newcastle from UK, I will do what you want. I think he's arguing with a couple of other No Bill Jimmers. Good to see you, Dave, in the comments as well. Make sure you subscribe to Dave, No Bill Jimmers, close pal of mine. Start his YouTube channel up with gyms. So if you want to get into knowing everything about gyms, please head over and check his channel out. Slap him abroad for 100 million with 50% sell-on clause. Could he not play out? Could he not just pay out his... Nah, he couldn't afford his own contract. What's Isak on? Is something like 6 million a year or something, or maybe more? That's 18 million. I don't think Isak's got that in his bank. People are saying send him to Saudi, Barca, etc. He doesn't want to go there, and Barca can't afford him. I think, Adam, what the point is if Liverpool can't stump up the cash and it comes down to deadline day, where's he going to go? Because if would he change his mind to come back into the Newcastle squad? Because he'll have to make a decision if he wants to play football. Because it is World Cup year. His value will drop if he doesn't play, which doesn't help Newcastle out, by the way. So if he can head out on loan, I don't know. It's something that we might have to look at in a couple of weeks' time. We'll worry about that in a couple of weeks' time. Isak's agent is Vlado Lemet, has a questionable history. Seriously, look him up. I said that earlier. Look at his portfolio of players as well. Sat in reserve for 3 years. We can give him the 18 million. It's a last-minute push for him or his agent to force a move. Breaking news, Isak's moved out his house according to the Times. And I was responding to the guy telling me I'm not from the UK. I shouldn't say anything. Oh, right. Okay. Right. However, drop us a like on the video. And that's negativity news, but I really don't know. This is going to play out all day. You're going to see a lot of stuff on the likes of X in particular. Look, if you want to follow us on the socials, Newcastle Fans TV, we'll put the news out as well. And as I say, I wasn't planning to do this video. I didn't want to do this video this morning. I wanted to do a Malik Chow announcement at some point today, but obviously I'm heading down to watch some non-league down Teesside tonight. Yeah, and we do have a few busy days coming up as well. We're watching Newcastle under-21s. We're down London for an event on Thursday. Obviously, we've got Aston Villa coming up the weekend as well, but I think I'm going to wrap up there because I'm just kind of repeat the same thing. I'll start winding myself up a little bit more on this. This will probably need to get in the bin, to be honest with you, the way things are at the minute. But yeah, drop us a like. We'll see you very soon here at Newcastle Fans TV. Just shit news. Take care, everyone. Bye.